Welcome to Midnight Whisper. Today I will tell you a story I found on Reddit. We can't say for sure if it's true, but the writer says it is. This story is about a broke university student named Mary, who needed money for school. She gets into a situation she never expected.
My sugar daddy asks Maine for weird favors. I am a 20-year-old girl who wanted money for university. One day, while scrolling through Tinder, I saw a man's post. His bio said he was 45, but looked more like he was in his early 30s. He was looking for a sugar baby and promised $700 a week, without any sex. It sounded too good to be true, but as a broke university student, I decided to take a chance. We matched, and he messaged me right away.
"Hey there, sweetheart."
He wrote. I didn't like that word, but $700 was too tempting. I replied, "Hey." His name was Jack. He told me he owned a business but didn't say what kind. After talking for a bit, he asked for my Venmo so he could send me the first payment. I was shocked when I saw the $700 pop up in my account.
"Are you still there?"
He texted. "Yeah. What do you want from me in return?" I asked.
"I just need you to do a few favors for me."
He replied. That sounded a bit strange. Like what?
"For starters, I need you to pick up a delivery for me."
That didn't sound too bad, but I was still suspicious. I asked if it was from the post office.
"No, I'll give you the address, but let's not do this over Tinder. Do you have Kik, or you can give me your number?"
I decided to give him my number, and he quickly sent me the address. He told me,
"I wouldn't be home, but I have left a key under a blue flower pot by the door."
I went to the address to get the package. As I drove, I felt nervous. The place was deep in the forest, and there were no other houses around, just the one. It looked abandoned, with tall weeds and trees all around. As I approached the house, a deep voice called out.
"You here for Jack's stuff?"
I looked up to see a huge man standing at the door. He was covered in tattoos and blocked the entrance. Yeah, I guess I replied, not moving.
"Stay right there."
I did. I realized I was a 20-year-old girl alone in the woods. I gripped my car keys tightly. A few minutes later, the man came back out, carrying a cardboard box the size of a shoebox, stained and damp in some places.
"Can you open your car?" he asked.
I opened the trunk, and he set the box inside.
"All right. There you go."
"Thanks," I said, feeling uneasy. I walked to the driver's side and opened the door.
"Oh, and one more thing," he called out.
I turned to look at him.
"Watch out."
I didn't reply, just drove off, my heart racing. When I arrived at Jack's house, it was beautiful, with stone pillars and lush green grass. I parked and grabbed the package, finding the key where he said it would be. I opened the door and stepped inside, closing it behind me. A voice in my head told me to lock it, so I did. The inside was fancy, with expensive furniture everywhere. I set the package down on the coffee table. Just then, I heard a phone ringing from somewhere in the house. My phone buzzed. It was Jack.
"Don't answer any calls that aren't from Marvin."
I felt creeped out and decided to ignore the call and leave the house, locking the door behind me. I had done a few more favors for Jack since then. I drove a BMW to a random park in another city and had to meet one of his employees for a briefcase. He told me that Jack would know if I looked inside. Jack also asked me to spend time with a guy named Julio, who I had to check on regularly. In total, I made around $3,500 from these favors. But then, Jack asked me to spend the night at his house, offering me $1,000 to do it. I was nervous but thought it would be okay since I had followed the rules before. That evening, I drove to Jack's house. The driveway was empty, but the porch light was on. I walked in and locked the door behind me. Jack had told me he would leave a list of rules on the dining room table. The rules were:
"Lock the door when you come in. Only answer calls from Marvin. Don't turn on any faucets between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. Don't open the door for anyone, no matter who they say they are, after 10 p.m. If the door to the closet at the end of the hall is open, sleep in the library. If it's closed, sleep in any of the bedrooms. The gardener comes at midnight. If he starts knocking on the windows, hide. Turn the TV on and let it play on static through the night. Do not forget to do this. Help yourself to anything in the fridge.
I made sure to follow all the rules. I felt a bit uneasy, but I wanted the money. I lounged around for a few hours, planning to sleep by 9 p.m., so I would be ready for the weird stuff to start. At 8:50 p.m., I brushed my teeth and used the faucet one last time. I checked the closet in the hallway and saw it was open,
the police,
so
open
I
up.
moved my things into the library
didn't
and
move.
prepared to sleep on the couch.
Hello?
I locked the doors just in case and lay on the couch, scrolling through my phone. At exactly 10:16 p.m., I was woken up by the doorbell ringing. I was about to get up, but then I remembered the rule: don't open the door for anyone after 10 p.m. I stayed on the couch, trying not to move, my heart racing.
It's the police. Open up.
I didn't move.
Hello, it's the police. Open up, or we're coming in.
I still didn't move. There was silence for a while. Then the doorbell rang again.
Hey, it's Jack, let me in.
It sounded like Jack, but I remembered he would have a key. Why would he need me to let him in? This continued for almost an hour. Different people rang the doorbell, saying they were police or Jack, but I stayed quiet and didn't respond. I finally managed to fall asleep, and the gardener never came. When I woke up the next morning, I heard someone in the kitchen. I got up slowly and unlocked the door quietly, taking my phone with me. I walked into the kitchen and peered in. It was Jack. He was standing in front of the stove, stirring something as the coffee machine brewed behind him.
Hey, good morning.
He said when he saw me. Hi, I replied, nervous. I hadn't seen him in person before, but he looked just like his pictures online.
Scrambled eggs.
He asked, motioning to the pan. Yeah. Thanks, I said, taking a plate from him. I ate breakfast in silence, feeling awkward.
So, how was it?
He asked. It was okay. Nothing super freaky happened, I replied.
Cool.
He said. There was an awkward pause. I think I'm going to go now. I have class, I said, trailing off. I didn't have class, but I wanted to leave.
Oh, no, yeah, sure, I'll talk to you some other time.
He said. And I grabbed my stuff, and he walked me to my car. I could feel him staring at me as I drove away. When I got home, I unpacked and noticed that I still had the list of rules with me. I sat on my bed and read it again, feeling my heart drop. I had forgotten one important rule.
Turn the TV on and let it play on static through the night. Do not forget to do this.
I stared at the words until they lost meaning. Suddenly, my phone buzzed. It was the $1,000 payment from Jack. I looked at my phone and then back at the list. Maybe it wasn't a big deal that I forgot. But then a new text came in from Jack.
I'm not in town right now. I should be back next week, so you're free from running any more errands for me. Until then, just send the payment. Go do something fun.
I read his message over and over. I'm not in town right now. I remembered this morning how Jack had been in his house, making me breakfast. Then, another text came in from a number I didn't recognize.
Did you forget to do something?
It was followed by a picture of Jack or whoever looked like him standing in front of the TV. I didn't reply. Next, I received another picture, this time of the outside of my house. Another text followed.
Watch out.
Do you want to know what happened with Mary, who Jack really was, and who the mysterious man outside the house is? Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for part 2. Until then, bye-bye, and the story contains twists and turns like a midnight whisper where secrets burn.